as a woman in the fields of science, technology, engineering and mathematics, known as STEM, is odds against. Even less common is an Indigenous woman making it in these industries. One woman breaking these odds is Keely Perry, on track for a career in biotechnology or molecular biology. And she owes much of it to the Careertrackers Indigenous Internship program, which has just marked 10 years, supporting the careers of young Indigenous people across Australia. Keely Perry joins us now from Brisbane, along with Careertrackers founder Michael Combs, who is here in the studio with me in Sydney. Welcome to you both. Keely, Indigenous women, as we said, are underrepresented in STEM fields in Australia. What motivated you to make a career of it?
I think there's a couple of things. I grew up in Longreach, which is in central western Queensland, so I think I got to see a little bit of agriculture and all of that through my schooling, pretty hands-on. I was involved in a lot of practical stuff from an early age, and I got to see it a lot in high school, and I think that maybe fed into me wanting to go and study it further in university, and I definitely couldn't see myself doing anything else other than going into a STEM field and exploring it further.
You were born to do it by the sounds of it, and you're in the second year of your degree. What field do you think you'd like to work in at this stage?
As far as it's concerned, I'm in a major of plant biology, so I'm pretty sure right now where I want to be is genomics in crops, so going into agriculture and working with genetics and that kind of, working with maybe crops with agriculture, medicine, or even kind of going into using plants and that in entertainment and stuff like that, yeah.
Wow, I'd love to hear more about that. One of the organisations backing you and making all of this possible really is Careertrackers Indigenous Internship Program. What have they done for you?
I was actually lucky enough to be part of Careertrackers in high school, so I was what's called a Launchpad program student. So directly from high school into university, I was lucky enough to get an internship with a company that's partnered with Careertrackers, and straight in I just went in and did a month-long internship, which kind of set me up to be ready for corporate Australia going into my first year. And then throughout that first year I had the support of an advisor with Careertrackers, and got to get another internship and do that in the summer with Origin Energy. So that's kind of the basis of it, is we do internships, but throughout that and in between the internships we have a lot of support and a lot of community from Careertrackers with other Indigenous Australians all throughout the nation. So that involves us going in for workshops and making sure that we're connecting with people and connecting with culture.
Well, the man who started it all, the Careertrackers founder Michael Combs, is here with me in Sydney. And Michael, you've just marked 10 years since you started Careertrackers. That must be hard to believe. Can you explain what it's all about?
Careertrackers, as Keely said, it's a movement. It's about a community of young Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students who are forging a career in the private sector. And these students spend their summers doing paid internships, learning the ins and outs of the private sector, learning the ins and outs of the professions and careers that they want to pursue. They do that every single summer, and when they graduate, they go straight into full-time employment. And as a Careertrackers alumni, they've got this network of other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students, professionals all throughout Australia.
What sort of a difference does it make for these people who go through Careertrackers? We've heard from Keely, of course. What a success story there. What are some other examples?
The Careertrackers model actually comes from a program in the United States, a program called Inroads, that as Careertrackers celebrates 10 years, that program celebrates 50 years. And I went through that program. So I know what it's like to be an intern. I know what it's like to grow up in a neighbourhood where you don't have many options. And so for me, when I look at the Careertrackers students, I know that this program gives you opportunity. It gives you a cohort of other like-minded students who you all grow up together through your careers, and they become some of your closest friends and your business colleagues in the future.
There's some pretty impressive stats too around the success of Careertrackers.
Yeah, the thing for us is about, first and foremost, how do we get more Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students finishing university? So the data tells us that for every 4 Indigenous students who start uni, for every 10 Indigenous students who start uni, only 4 will graduate. The students in the Career Trackers program who are part of this community, for every 10 who start, 9 will graduate. And then it's about getting a job after university. 95% of Career Trackers graduates or Career Trackers alumni, they're in a professional job within 3 months of finishing uni. And then it's about earning. The Career Trackers alumni earn on average twice the average weekly income of any Australian, not just Indigenous Australians, but any Australians. And that's the future. That's the future for empowering Indigenous people and Indigenous communities across the country.
You've got a number of companies on board. I know about 23, I think. Origin Energy is one of those. We heard Keely talk about their support for her before. It's a win for companies like that as well, isn't it? How do they benefit?
The thing about, we know that in Australia, there's a war for talent. There is companies, they want to hire the best young graduates, full stop. And a lot of organisations, they have reconciliation action plans and they have these ambitions to try to attract and retain Indigenous people. By participating in a program like Career Trackers, first and foremost, corporate Australia is getting access to the best talent. They're getting access to young students like Keely who are hungry for a career, who are hungry to move their communities in a whole new direction. So they get talent and they get, all of the benefits that come with having a diverse workforce.
So Keely, you've got a huge legacy in front of you, whether you like it or not. Would you hope to see more women, particularly Indigenous women, follow your lead into these kinds of fields?
I think that diversity in any kind of form, whether it's minorities or ethnicities, religion or gender or sex, is always a good thing. And if we can start that with females, and particularly Indigenous females, I will fully advocate for it. And I do want to see a lot more representation in the future. And I hope that my story and what I do in the future can push more people. And I look forward to it.
Well, you're a wonderful role model, and it is a wonderful organisation. Thank you both for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.